Hi everyone, welcome to Eileen's Creative Edge. Tonight we're going to try to concoct a little bit of a underwater scene here using a few different ways with the embossing powders and inks. So I'm going to just see where we're at. Anybody on there with me yet tonight? Well, anyway, we'll get started because it might take a little bit. We're going to make this card. We're going to be using the Sea of Textures Cling Mount stamp set, and we're going to be using a couple sentiments out of the Bountiful Bouquet, which is a photopolymer set. So I've mounted those stamps already on some blocks so that you can see that. We're also going to be using some Whisper White cardstock, some Sea Spray cardstock, which I have both of those cut at 5.5 by 8.5, folded at the Sea Spray is folded at 4.25. I used some soft suede to pre-cut this already, just so we could get on with that part of it. We're going to be using some Tuxedo Black Memento ink. We're going to be using Daffodil Delight, Lovely Lipstick, Coastal Cabana, the Rococo Rose, and Versamark. We're going to use clear embossing powder, and hopefully I have enough left. I have to order more now. Oh, also, we're going to be using the embossing heat gun, and then we're going to be using copper embossing and white embossing powder. So, hi Wendy, glad you joined me. I'm going to try to do about 3 different ways of using embossing powders. Maybe you've done them all, but maybe they'll be new to you. So, with that, I want to get started here. The first thing I wanted to show everybody was how I achieved this nice sandy bottom here. So that's what I'm going to work with first. So I'm going to lay I don't need that. I'm going to take my Versamark, and the stamp set has a nice textured piece in it that I'm going to stamp a few times across the bottom. I'm going to actually open this up a little bit. I think you can see that? And we're going to just stamp it and ink it and stamp it. I'm going to ink it a few times. This is trying to be my little bottom of my stuff. So that's all I'm going to do with that. So I'm going to cover this back up so it doesn't dry out. And then I'm going to take some of my copper. And I'm not going to pour it on like I usually do everywhere. I'm just going to do it a little bit here and there. And the reason for that is I'm going to come back and I'm going to put the white on it too. So now we'll tap that off. And I'm going to do it at the same time before I heat it, because I want it to blend a little bit together when it's so-called melting. So now I'm going to go ahead and shut this up. And this is to kind of give the gravelly look to the bottom. So I'm using the white so it shows up. Later I'll be using a clear. Better here. Okay, now I want to just really smother this all up because I want it to get into all the places that the copper didn't take. Now let's see if I can get that to work out here without going off the paper. Okay, you can kind of see the white there. All right, I'm going to get this back out of here before I heat it. And being it's Versamark, you have a little time to do this. I need to get a little more, since I'm using my embossing powders, I'm going to probably put them in little dishes so that I don't have to mess like this all the time. It gets all over the papers and everything. We will take care of that a little time, but we'll put that to the side now. Then we'll take a heat gun and we'll let it warm up just a bit. That's what we need. We had almost 80s to 90s the other day. So we just need a little more heat, right guys? But, hi Lisa. Just showing how I mix the copper and the white embossing powder. This is not the new shimmery white. I haven't gotten that yet. But now it's going to give the look of hopefully of some sand underneath the sea. You could always throw in some color if you want it, probably. But I don't like to wiggle my gun overly much. I like to kind of do it more steady when I'm embossing. Okay. So now we're done with that part. Now the next part I did kind of showcase. I'm going to set that aside for a moment. I sort of showed this not too long ago, how I like to take my Versamark and my stamp pad and work them together to use them. So, oh, you've got some heat coming too, Lisa. Huh? So this is how I do it. I tap all over my octopus here with the stays on, or with the, not stays on, with my Versamark. And then I'm going to go ahead and open up my Rococo rose. And I'm just going to stamp that on top. And the reason is I want it to be a good sticky ink that will hold my powder for a while. And then I'm going to put the clear powder on here. And so I got to make sure I grab the right one. I've been known to grab the wrong one. But we're just going to put that on Whisper White. So, and we'll be cutting this out with a big shot in a little bit. But first we're going to do this and see where I put my stuff. Okay. And now I need my clear, which I believe is this one. Yep. As you can tell, it lasts forever. I've still got some old jars, but sometimes I keep pouring them together. So some of my jars might have currant, but they might have the old covers because I poured them together. But now I should get a nice rosy octopus here. And I will do that. And we're going to keep this around here. We're done with our Versamark though. Alright, let me get this heated up before I forget and smudge it. And like I said, we'll be going and cutting this out in a little bit. And you want to just check your embossing, make sure you don't have any powdery looking dull, any powdery or dull looking spots, because then you need to go back and heat it. But I think I have it all. I'm going to check over here under the light a little better. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Now, I was playing with my embossing powder and my stuff the other day. And so this is where I came up with something a little bit different. Oops, let me see. I had to set this over here so it's out of the way. Am I under the thing? I can't tell. Yeah, okay. I'm going to just throw this around this way. As you can see, I have 3 different colors here. And what I want to do is make a playing field for my different colors. And what I mean by that is that if you can see, I have some different colored, but they're shiny. And we don't have foil that color. So these are embossed. And someone said you can just take the ink from here and emboss it with clear. So I'm trying that, and I thought it got more of a granulated, pebbly look to it. But you can judge it and see what you think. But you have to act really fast because this does dry, and that was one of the things I noticed. So I'm going to do each color separate. But then I have some ready for me when I want to use them. So let's see, I'm going to go ahead and put about this one here. And I'm just taking the pad and putting it upside down on top of the Whisper White, getting a good coating. Not even going to shut that. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go and put this over here really quick. And I'm just going to throw the clear on top. And hopefully it's not so hot up here that this dries off right away. But I'm trying to, running low here. Okay, see if if I can get that to go this way. Yeah, okay. So right now it's still wet enough to hold on to it. And so I need to go and put this in here and keep that covered before I knock it over off the table again too. And now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make myself a so-called glassy piece of paper that I can, and see it kind of lies around because it's drying up. And so I have to really be kind of quick about it. I don't know if you can see that. It's like little beads of them. But because it is plastic, it does stay hold and it will melt into the paper. But if you don't do it quick enough, it kind of wants to get away from you. So some of it's dry patchy and it's just kind of cool. Get a little closer. And I'm going to stop here and show you quick how this looks. Okay, so see this, I don't know if you can tell it, it's a little more shiny and not so bumpy, where this is like kind of bumpy like, you know, if it's got a real texture to it. It's kind of cool. So anyway, I'm going to do that with 2 more colors. And then, whoop, get that to shut. Put that away before I lose it. Wait a minute. Oh, okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and do my lovely lipstick. Same thing. I'm going to stamp it as close to this one as I can get. Doesn't matter if it's straight or not. It's just going to be like scrap paper, but it's going to be embossed scrap paper. So I can make these little plants and things have a little more texture and stuff to them. I think that was just such a cool thing that happened with it, you know, when I was playing with it. So again, toss this on here as much as possible. Get it on there. Try to beat the drying time. This one, remember, I haven't put any Versamark on first. It was strictly the color straight on. Okay. And now I didn't get it on the corner or on the top edge. I don't know if I dare try it. I'm going to try just a little bit. Might be waiting too long, but I'm going to try this top edge here. I missed that. Might as well put that in here so I don't lose it. And now we'll try this again. We'll see if it knocks any other off. Oh, it's starting to dry up. I got to hurry. So we'll see. When it dries too much, it wants to get away when you're embossing it. So you'll kind of see it start to leave. So that's what I'm going to see if it happens. Okay. So in this case, I'm going to start on this end, just because I wanted to stop it from flying off. And again, we're getting that textured look. And it's such a pretty deep color. I just thought, oh, I just love this. You see the colors, and kind of like when we had the glossy cardstock, you'd get a really vibrant color, but otherwise they're not so vibrant. And we don't have all the colored, oops, I don't want to get my phone cord. So that's not in, I don't know if that's up in your way here. Sometimes it is. Let me check. That cord in the way? Nope, okay. And one more to go, and then we'll do the next part and put our card together tonight. So, another one to put away over here this time. Okay, and this is one of my old style pads, but it's still the foam pad. So, gonna see there's some embossing powder left on here. I'm just gonna get some of that, otherwise it gets in the pad. So, but we're just gonna put that over here. Like I said, we'll be embossing it and getting it. Whoop. I'm going to try that again. Okay, I must have had some reason that didn't come very good the first time, but we got her. All right, now then, let's get this covered before that might be drier pad. But let's get it again. It wasn't the linen type. It was still the foam pad, but it was the older style pad. So it may have been in my storage for a while, so it could be drying up a little and maybe needing a re-inking. Yeah, those things happen. Looks like we got powder sticking now, so we're going to go with that. We're not going to waste any more time putting another shot on it. I think we've covered it pretty well. Okay, and now get that covered up and go for it. I hope it stays put. That out of the way. Okay. So I know it's just kind of a redone thing here, but I just wanted to show it all to you. And the different colors maybe show up a little better and versus the other ones. So you could see it. I don't believe I got any falling off tonight like I did when I was making them the first time. They were kind of bouncing over. I waited too long. So I did learn that much. But it almost looks like it's wet yet. But yet you can put your fingers across it. I don't know if this one's quite dry yet. Yeah, it is. It's not even tacky. And this is also smooth. So now we're going to go over to the big shot offs. Well, let's see. I might be able to bring it on here. Let me try it. Done with this one too. Okay. Let's see here. Let me see if you can see any of that. My off camera. Kind of. Okay, let me get rid of this. All right. Now I'm going to take this little one. This big wavy one for the green. I don't know. I can't tell if you can see this because my camera holder is right where I think this is showing up. But we're going to go over it a few times, and when they come out, then I will go ahead and cut out the octopus. So I'm using the platform with the extra die sheet with it. I'm going to go over it about four times. 3 and 4. And hopefully that'll take care of it. Alright, now let's see if that worked. Let me give myself a little bit more room here. This is just not working where this is. Ugh. Maybe I'm not going to be able to get that out of there. I have it plugged in good. Put it back here anyway. Move these out of the way. Back here. Now slide this over, and I think we got enough room to work a little better. I wanted to get my brush out of here too. There we go. So, it should have cut just fine. And what you're going to see is it's going to pull it out. It's so fun. And it is left in there. So now I'm going to just take my brush and then take my tool and it gets just kind of like almost like alive. You know, it's like it's got stuff to it. It's so cool. Oop. And now this one just punches right out. Isn't that cool? Cool, cool, cool. And then this one might be a little more difficult again. There we go. And that one's got a piece stuck in there always. And now we'll just get that out with this, I think. Maybe. All right. There. Isn't that fun? Just gives it like some life, you know, like what you'd see underneath. Okay, so now we're going to just turn this around and we're going to do the octopus. Okay. And this fits on here pretty good. You don't really get that bad of a leftover margin on it. The main thing is to stay inside the cutting area. Okay, let me make sure. Up. Actually, I did want to use a little bit of washi tape just because I haven't tried this with the magnetic plate. I'm more of a person that uses this kind of, and you can kind of change it around while you're getting it all. I think that looks pretty good. You don't see too much white around there. All right. Let's see if that comes out pretty good. I probably only needed to go once. Sorry. I get so used to doing some of them a lot. And it came right out. Okay, so now I have a whole bunch embossed, so I can go and make a whole bunch of seaweeds or whatever you want to call them. And they'll be ready to put on cards. And I don't have to sit there and emboss every time or color every time. And I don't have to have just the plain old kind of not shiny paper. And I don't have to worry about using glossy paper or metallic paper. But let me get this out here and we'll if I can quit yelling and going there, put those over there. Get this off here. Put that right there. So many steps. There's a few white pieces. I'll get those later. Just want to make sure I don't lose any of my little pieces here. Okay, so on with the show here. Let's see, what did I do with me? There it is. Okay, so we now have the parts that we want to use for our thing. And of course, I've been really using my silicone sheet here. And in this case, I'm going to take a scrap sponge that I have. And I'm just going to squirt a bunch of glue down here. And that's how I'm going to put everything on. Because with the textured bottom, I want to use that. So, oh, hi, Jenny. So what I do is I lay this on here. And I dab into and I get my sponge pretty well saturated. And then I just kind of tap over up and down. I tried rubbing it, but then you get it on the front a little bit. But by doing it this way, you get it all over and you don't have to, and it just washes off. I just haven't taken it downstairs as I'm upstairs and I don't have a bathroom or anything up here to wash my stuff, so then I have to load it up and take them all downstairs. But we do that every so often and get it all done. And now just pick it up. I thought about trying to ripple it, but so far I haven't done that. I'm just going to stick it on there, kind of kittywampus. And then because we've done that, it sticks pretty well. And then I took the yellow one. Find a cleaner spot on your thing. You don't want to go where you have glue already. And just add a little glue to this one all over. And you don't even have to do it to the top part. So you have something to hang on to. And then just stick that wherever you want it. But if you leave it loose, you've got some shadowy effect going on. And that's kind of nice. And then this one, just, I keep forgetting to hold on to the top. Well, this one might be smack down because I put it on the top to begin with. And then just kind of wherever you want to put it. And then this one for sure, just let it. The reason I only want to do the bottom of this one is because I want to tangle up Mr. Octopus's, his, whatever his legs are called, arms, whatever. So I want these loose enough, but yet I want it tight down here. All right, I am done with that part. I'm going to set that aside because otherwise I'll get my hands in it. I should probably put the sentiments on before I forget. I should have done that probably right away. But I have Happy Birthday I'm going to put up in the corner. I'm going to stamp it down here, make sure I'm getting a good coverage. Oh, I don't know if you can see that. Sorry. Okay, and then the other side inside I'm going to, actually I'm not even going to put a white filler. I'm just going to leave it blue. And I'm going to put, it says happy birthday on the front, and on the inside I'm going to put followed by many days and years of the same, of happiness, you know. We don't want to wish anybody a bad time. Yeah, there we go. Whew, I always hold my breath before I get those done, you know. So I guess we're just waiting for Mr. Octopus. So I need to find my little, where did I stick you? Here we are. I'm going to put on some of the dimensionals. Whoa, I see we have a little piece left here. We better get that out of there. Hi, Lori. I'm glad you could join us. Just making a nice card here. I don't know what time you came on. Whoop. Now I'm going to be part of the picture because it's gluing on to me again. And I want this to be up in the air a little bit. So that's why I'm using these mini dimensionals. I just love these. They're so nice and small. They fit in all the right places, and never have too many, right guys? One more probably up here if I can get it centered. Maybe one more up there in the part here. Oh. Yeah. And we're going to leave that other side because that's the side we're going to tangle the stuff through his. Well, we're going to weave him through the grass a little bit. Just about finished here. But I hope you remember that there's different ways to get different colors with embossing, with clear embossing and colored embossing. Don't be afraid to mix your embossing powders one at a time and get a different look too. Before I figured that out, I had bought a sand colored one at one time and years ago, so that's kind of nice that I could come up with something I could use out of our own stash of supplies now. All right, so now I am going to see if I can flip this over a couple. Gotta pick them up a little bit here. Ah, come on. Just don't want them to come off. All right. And what I did is I just kind of tangled them up in here. Whoa, come on, there we go. And just put them down like that, kind of. It's like he's trying to hang on and not get up in that net. And voila, there it is. What do you think? Like I said, maybe I need to smush up the net, but the way it kind of scrunches, it kind of looks that way already. So the one I did earlier, this one has a little more white on it. But this one you can kind of see the mixture a little more maybe. I don't know if you can see that with the camera. This one looks more like the sand is sifted and the current has quit for a while. This is what our sheet looked like. That was Versamark first with the colored ink over it, and then it was our octopus. This was strictly ink with clear embossing powder over it. No Versamark used first, and that was because I laid the pads directly onto the white Whisper White cardstock, and then I could save it and cut out. I can file these little squares or leave it whole and just keep cutting them out and making a whole slug of these, or use them however. Be really cute to put a couple in the corners. Maybe I'll do that too. But and that's why I left it blue, because I wanted it to look more like water in there too. In the meantime, I also made a few things this week I wanted to show you that you maybe have seen them online if you have been watching my thing. But anyway, I used the other, let me see what it's called. I can never remember the names of these sets. I used Colorful Seasons, and I made just a relaxing by the beach type of easy card. It just reminded me so much of sitting by the beach, but I'm missing the beach, can you tell? We go to the lake some weekends, but I'm more of a ocean person. I like the beach. So anyway, that one was there. And then Paper Pumpkin had come out. And these are really cute. I only have 2 sets done, this set and this set. And actually, I think I reversed them from what they had said. Because I was going to make them exactly the same as the directions. But if you notice, the blue and the green had the big vellum circle. I did reverse them, so anyway, there's no right or wrong on that either, and I will probably try some alternates pretty soon too. But I wanted to share with you that. So this Paper Pumpkin was the June Paper Pumpkin. Make 16 little cards, and if you wanted to, you can make them into big cards and use them for whichever. And then I had I had done shares with people in my group that wanted to do it. So these are just some of the awesome, neat things that have come out in the embellishments. There's the florals, the dots, a metal, these from the dino. Let's see, what else do I have here? Just wanted to share a few more things. Oh, here we have cork pieces, a tag and a flower and a leaf. We have buttons, we have fuzzy centers. I think we have little library clips. I don't know if you can see those in different colors, white and silver. Whoa! Oh, get excited. Yep. And then there were those nautical ones and the birds. But I think I showed you those before. Let's see, anything else that's new in there that I haven't shared with you. Oh, I just got my new Pretty Peacock blends. I can't wait to use them. So they're not even out of the package yet. But, oh, and by the way, here's our glitter from last week. So I thought about maybe putting that on there, but I don't know. It might be the wrong color since I use Seaside. But, wouldn't that be pretty? Or seafoam spray? I'm sure the name of it is. But you get the background. This is the Pretty Peacock, so that might be a little deep. But I could just see if I would have put some of that same blue and make some ripples going through the water possibly. It's another thing to think about using when you dye your own glitter. So, if there are any questions, I can take some now. Otherwise, hi, Anne. Hi, Anne. So glad to see you. All right. But otherwise, that was my share tonight. It was how to make embossing powder go a little further for you and stock up on the clear because you can do quite a bit with it. But don't forget your basic colors either because they do mix together nicely. So, and Versamark is always good to have for the embossing too. So, with that, I guess if there are no questions, if there will be some later, just leave them in the comments and I'll get to them. And don't be afraid to sign up for Paper Pumpkin. I'm going to host at my house Paper Pumpkin days to get together and do them. So, some information is on my Facebook site with that too. So, yes, I did, Lisa. I did make my own glitter last week on a video. I took re-inker and some water, and then the dazzling diamonds, or what do we call it here? Oh, and the other one that I forgot last time. It's dazzling diamonds. I knew there was one other thing that I forgot last week too, and that was they discontinued it, but we had heat and stick powder, which is awesome for using your glitter too. And what you do with that is you stamp in Versamark a design, and then you pour the heat and stick on it. You heat it with an embossing gun until it just gets tacky, and then you dump your glitter on it, and then it becomes a glitter design and follows the pattern of your stamp. So that was always really nice too. Yeah, Lisa, do that. I did about a dozen ways to use glitter and how to use it in different ways. So with that, I will conclude tonight. I thank you for joining us, or joining me. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.